It's already legendary.
It's an instant classic.
It's already legendary. Speaking of instant classics, why wait? Why put it off any longer? I mean, I can't wait to speak with him. I'm more excited for this segment on the show than I have been in ages. Let's speak with Mr. Ted PILLMAN.
Wow.
Mr. Carload of Farts himself. If you haven't noticed, I'm vamping while I pull up his number here on the old YouTube.
Vamp away.
Vamp away.
I do. I eat too
Gonna
much.
give Ted PILLMAN a call.
Too much of that sizzler.
Get his number here. Again, lives in a seedy motel in East Hollywood. Has been on G4 Tech TV. Has been on YouTube on many different channels. People upset with how awful his singing is. I happen to love it. Not even near the worst singer on YouTube, sorry. Nice try, but not even close. Let's see.
Exciting.
Very exciting.
Listen to my
A bunch of questions for Mr. PILLMAN. Carload of Farts has 100,000, 104,000. You know. Really, too little. This to me, you take this and you take Gangnam Style in the same room, and I'm sorry, Carload of Farts will win every time. Calling Ted PILLMAN right now, live from the BQWSC.
I'm happy for you.
Ted PILLMAN, hello?
Ted PILLMAN, I can hear you loud and clear. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. I hear a little delay type effect, but I'm feeling good. How are you doing? Good?
I'm doing fantastic. I was saying before we called you, we were listening to all your greatest hits, Carload of Farts,
Wow.
Harlot.
I got them all right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, keep going.
And as I was taking a dump, and
I got it.
you know what, Ted? I say this with no, no jest. I'm more geeked out and excited to speak with you than any other guest we've had on the show. We've had some
Well, listen,
decent names, yeah.
Well, I'm glad to be your guest.
We love you. I mean, my buddy Dylan and I, my co-host, are huge fans. We're like part of your cult following. We have two people here who are Ted PILLMAN virgins.
Yep.
And they've been raped accordingly by your music.
Yes, we have.
And
Right.
Ted, what's up? Now you were saying in a seedy motel. Is that true?
I actually live in one, and it's in East Hollywood. It was the original seedy hotel was downtown L.A.
Right.
But since I moved up to a seedy one in East Hollywood.
And how long have you been hotel swapping?
Oh, I've been living in hotels now, well, since about 97.
Yeah.
And before that, I was homeless. And then when I met Branston Aniston, he put the camera on me and started paying for my rent in the hotel.
Who is Branston Aniston?
Well, he was some sort of real estate man. He was an older man. He was about 75 when I met him.
Right.
And he videoed me up against a yellow wall singing my first song, Harlot, Filthy Harlot.
Oh, wow.
And somehow it took off slowly, but it started rising.
Right.
And when he saw that, he said, we got to make more because they're starting to watch him.
So that yellow wall was like your cavern club, like for the Beatles.
I could call it that,
Yeah.
I was discovered on a yellow wall outside, yeah.
And what was your affiliation with Mr. Branston? How did he find you? How did you two meet?
Well, I was out sitting on the yellow wall drinking a Coke, and he came walking by, and no, actually I was singing, that's right. I had my beat-up karaoke machine.
Right.
I was singing, and he said, can I put the camera on me? And he did it, and then he said, I'll tell you what, I'll pay your room for the night in the hotel.
Right.
And that's how it all got started. Then it kept coming back. We kept doing it. I'd be in a hotel for 2 days, 3 days, back out on the street again, then back in again. So every time I saw him, I knew I had a roof over my head.
and let me ask you something, Ted. Was it strictly a pay-for-song scenario, or was this Branston fellow looking for a little bit more, if you know what I mean?
No, he wasn't into anything kinky or anything like that. I was too ugly for his taste, but...
Was he a gay man? Was he married with children? What was his story in terms of family?
He didn't have a wife and kids at the moment, and the only gay thing he said is that he did like Liberace.
Which is a giveaway. Anyone who says they don't like Liberace is a secret fag. Am I right, Ted?
Yeah, something like that. So he didn't do any kind of touchy-feely with me at all, and I guess I'm not his type. And every time I saw him, I knew I had a roof over my head for the night.
Right. And are you still in contact with this gentleman, or are you flying solo now?
Well, guess what? If you go into my channel, you'll see where I took over the Branston A channel, and I'm running it myself now.
Right.
I dropped him. He was pressuring me too much.
How so?
Yes. Oh, he would just tell me what to do and what not to do, and then he'd say, gotta have more videos, gotta clean up more.
Right.
I say, I like my dirty look.
You know what?
He wanted me to be all clean.
I was saying to the guys here, what I admired about you the most was how many years have you been doing this now?
Well, let's see, exactly February of '09 is when the first camera was put on me, outside on the yellow wall. And that takes it up to almost 5 years by now, yeah. I was adding it up. Yeah. Or wait.
No, I think it's 4, Ted.
4 years, yeah.
And my math is extremely poor, so if I know that one, come on.
4 years, yeah. I thought I'd beef it up a little.
Yeah. Well, were you singing before he put the camera on you, though?
You know, well, as I said, sometimes I had an old beat-up karaoke machine, and I would get out on a corner, sing some old songs like Side by Side and those real old things. And I'd make about $2 or $3 for an hour or two.
Yeah, that's about what those songs are worth on the street, I think.
That's right. And then I'd go to McDonald's and fill up.
Right.
You know?
And what I was saying, though, is you've been doing it for, let's say, 4 years, more when you were singing before you were recorded. But you never sold out, Ted. You've always been the same gaseous, smelly, rotten old man, and God bless you. I mean, that's what I love about a Ted Pillman video.
Well, that's what I grew to love about myself, was that gaseous quality.
Yeah, and farts are a big part of your videos. Of course, the infamous Carload of Farts, which to me is like your Hey Jude. But there was, there's also a lot of songs about taking a dump, about
I got them all here.
Yeah, well, I want to get into that. I want to maybe have you, if you would indulge us, do some live, and then maybe talk about the specific songs. But before we do that, I gotta know, where did Ted Pillman grow up? How did Ted Pillman become a homeless man?
Yeah, okay, well, he was born in the county hospital, Los Angeles, and my parents kind of deserted me when I was about 9 or 10.
Right.
And then I stayed with an old lady for a while, and then about 13, I started hitting the streets.
Right.
And I did some young drinking back then. I was into alcohol more when I was 13, starting out on it. And then I tapered off when I got into my 60s.
Right.
But I still drank a little bit, yeah.
Well, I mean, at least you realize the error of your alcoholic ways.
Yeah, I was starting to get too many hallucinations and stuff.
Do you do anything now? Do you drop any drugs, any pills? I mean, your name is Pillman, Ted Pillman. It's almost like the Beatles.
When I made my first test video once, I made a test video with another guy, and he was trying to get fresh with me anyway. I dropped him.
What did he do? Did he try to, grab your cock?
Well, he tried to get some hands moving around. And what I said, hey, and so I took an old song called What Are You Doing the Rest of Your Life, which is a classic song, and I would barf in the middle of each sentence of the song. But I wasn't dirty looking on it, and, okay, what was the point? Oh, yeah, I pulled out some pills and swallowed them, right in front of the camera. And that's what I said. I'm going to make sure that name Pillman is known.
So that is a thing.
Yeah, because of that song and swallowing the
I thought
pills
maybe you were Jewish.
Camera.
I wasn't sure.
No, not true, no. Then I slowly got rid of those and replaced the pills with fart.
Right. So you're now addicted to farts.
The gaseous. I'm addicted to those now, yeah. It's hard to get rid of them.
But you're not on any drugs, any addictive substances?
Oh, nothing too heavy, no.
Wow.
Except for Coca-Cola with caffeine and coffee,
Right. You smoke any weed?
Yeah. No, I never did like that either.
Yeah, me too. I see you as like a modern day wild man Fisher. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could be that.
Like, I think if Frank Zappa
Somebody
was
could-
still around, you would have an album, you know?
I wouldn't mind, yeah. Someone compared me to Professor Irwin Corey.
Right.
I don't know if you know him. He's a comedian with kind of unruly hair and everything. Older man now. Yeah.
Right. Almost like a Phyllis Diller in A Nightmare.
Yes, that's how he looked.
Yeah.
That's where I got some ideas of making my hair stand up.
So you've really
From Irwin.
you've sort of groomed yourself to be very unkempt looking, almost on purpose. Now you've rolled with that homeless aspect of you, persona.
Yeah, well, what are you doing the rest of your life? I looked kind of cleaned up on that, and I said, that doesn't work, you know?
No.
It doesn't fit the barfing and everything.
Right.
So I started to make sure I wasn't too neat anymore.
That's a very good
And I just did-
a good tip though for guys who are getting hit on by gay men if they are straight, just to vomit.
Dirty up, yeah, stink up, and you'll get rid of it.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
now you do some videos though, Ted. Having said this, where
Oh, yeah, I know what
you
you're gonna
perform as a very gay character, and sometimes the gay
I
character
know.
makes Ted Pillman do some stuff. I mean, what's that all about?
Yeah, that was just for $25 cash. I would say, okay, I'll do it if it will pay that.
Right.
So I even put on some lipstick, and one guy gave me gay training right on the video, how to talk gay.
Right.
But that was just all like learning a character's part in a movie or something.
Right. Do you ever hear voices
And,
in your head?
I may have had, during the alcoholic period, I think I did hear some voices saying, get the hell out of here.
Right.
Here.
But now it's just all Ted all the time.
It's Ted all the time, mostly,
That's
yeah. Since my
fantastic.
big career took off, yeah.
And what's going on with your career now? Anything interesting in the future?
Well, I'm kind of coasting a little. I'm bringing in a girl or two to fill in for me while I rest up between videos. Yeah,
I saw
My daughter.
you have a daughter.
Yeah, she's one of my illegitimate children, really. Her name is Liz, and I reestablished our friendship and brought her in to relieve me, you know.
Yeah, I've
And
seen her in some videos. Now, I don't think it's the same woman I was originally thinking of, because you have one video where you seem to be humping a lady and farting.
Yeah, that might have been Malik.
Who's Malik?
Malik was, well, I guess she's Romanian, and we had a, what do you call it from that movie with Demi Moore? The
Indecent proposal. Yeah.
Yeah, we did an indecent proposal where I proposed to her,
Well, it's funny
and we really did.
because she looked
Go
dead
ahead.
in the video, Ted.
I like that when they said that. That made it more controversial.
That she was
yeah.
a corpse.
Like I brought a corpse
Yeah.
in and humped a corpse.
You know,
yeah.
we had a
I
guy.
wasn't even thinking
We're broadcasting from Montreal, and we had a guy who dismembered a Chinese fellow and then made love to the remains. And really,
Oh my God.
really, I think he probably stole that from the indecent proposal video that you made.
It could have been influenced from
Yeah,
that,
you might have a
I don't think
lawsuit where you can sue this guy in a civil court after he's convicted.
Yeah, you know, you're right. I never thought of that.
Yeah, well, I'll get you his information. Have you ever killed a man, Ted?
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that, no.
Yeah.
I'm a gentle person, yeah.
And this daughter of yours, what's her story? What does she think of you and your career?
Well, when she refound me after about 9 years, she kind of liked some of the videos. Some of them she didn't.
Right.
And I was getting tired. I had some sore earlobes for about 3 months. And I said, honey, my earlobes are sore. Will you fill in for me? And she did a couple of dance numbers for me. And
That
was fun.
what was the cause of the sore earlobes, Ted?
you know, I went to the clinic and they said it was all in my head.
Right.
That's what they told me. And I said, well, I feel pain. I'm going to take some time off.
So you took time off for sore
Nothing
earlobes.
Yeah, I did, and I rested. The more I rested, the worse they got. But finally it went away, and I came back. I returned.
Right,
Yeah.
well, we're
I have a
happy.
new video where I'm singing I Love the Nightlife, and Malik has returned in that
I
one.
just saw that
She
tonight
said-
when we were prepping for the show. I love. Maybe you could do that as well. Your new sort of single. It's a cover of "I Love the Nightlife."
Yeah, I'd have to look at the words.
That's
See, I
okay.
could fake part of it, but yeah.
And Ted, let me ask you something. Do you think maybe your daughter, after seeing your films online, your videos, seeing that you were kind of famous, is trying to maybe ride that train of fame and get back in your life for that reason.
Yeah, she's coming around more often, and of course asking for $5 here
Right.
and $3 there.
And that's a lot of money in your
you're
world.
Right. Yeah, that is a lot of money. So she just got a $5 off of me yesterday. I told her not to come around for about a week.
Right, well,
so I
yeah.
could save up.
No, it's not fair because
Yeah.
to me, you are an unsung hero. You've given me
Thanks.
hours and hours of free entertainment, and I don't like to know that someone is basically giving you a shakedown, be it your daughter or not.
Well, she knows she can hit up her dad. You know, they always
Right.
do that. They know that's the first one they can hit up.
Right.
So I usually dole out something if she needs it, you know.
Yeah, well, you're a good
But,
man, Ted. I mean, I feel that from
Well,
you.
thanks.
And you've been on, I've seen you on G4 TV's Web Soup, where they were very nasty to you.
G-Soup.
Yeah, Web Soup it's called, and don't get hungry.
Web Soup, you're
Yeah,
right.
and they...
Chris Hardwick.
I thought he was very condescending to you. You know, he was saying what a terrible
Somewhat,
singer
yeah.
you are. You know, what's he good for?
That's all, I sort of get a kick out of that, too. Then I went on, what was this other one, G4? I went on there live.
You were
and
on
that
there
was
live,
hard.
Attack of the Show, which I thought was
Attack of the Show,
fantastic. You rewrote your song "Carload of Farts" for that fat bus monitor who was teased.
That's what it was. They gave me those lyrics. I said, okay, I'll go along with it. I didn't
Well,
mind,
you're a
you
good
know,
man. I mean, I think she appreciated that, much as I'm sure Princess Diana did when Elton John rewrote the song for her. You know.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
It was a similar philanthropic endeavor, I think.
I think you're right, yeah. You know, when the red light came on and we were live on the air, I thought it was going to be pre-recorded. I kind of froze up a little. And
you should have changed the song to "As I Was Taking a Dump" and really given them a surprise.
Well, they wanted those special lyrics, so I couldn't do much about it. And G4 is on Wilshire Boulevard, a nice big building, but guess what? The toilet is almost a block away. You have to climb stairs, and that's the only thing I didn't like.
Do you know all the best toilets in the city?
Well, I know where the nearest ones to where I live are, because sometimes I have to run to them, you know.
Yeah.
I got to know right where they are.
And
yeah.
you're
I hate to
often
go outside.
taking a dump and having
I
diarrhea.
do that quite a bit.
And I guess that's where you get inspiration for a lot of your songs.
Some of that came right from those songs, and from those functions.
The inspiration
Yeah.
came right out of you.
Yeah, it came right out of me. Yeah.
Well, listen, Ted. We're talking about inspiration. We're talking about your songs. I don't know if there's any way possible. I'm getting a shiver right now even thinking about it. Is there any way you could do "Carload of Farts" and then maybe talk about where that song came from and the inspiration?
Well, it's funny. First, I did Harlot, Filthy Harlot.
Right.
That was with a yellow wall.
Right.
And then I did a second one called You're a Slut, where I'm just talking.
I like
You're
that
a
one.
Slut. Yeah, I don't really feel that way about women, and that was against the yellow wall. And the third one, I thought, well, this may not do much, and it's Carload of Farts.
That was the
and
big
I wrote
hit.
it, and I thought, well, I didn't think it would be at the
Yeah.
time, but it was number 3 creation, you
Yeah.
know. And do you want me to sing it live?
I would
or do you
love
want
to hear a bit of "Carload of Farts" and then perhaps "Harlot" after, another one of my favorite songs of yours.
Yeah, Harlot's the one that started the whole
Well, if you
ball
why don't you
fire,
start with
yeah.
that one then, sir?
Okay, Harlot's right
Sure.
here. Just I have a
Yeah,
list,
take your
so I won't
time,
forget
Ted.
nothing. Okay, here's a bit of Harlot. I won't do the whole thing.
Sure.
Harlot, filthy Harlot, I see you walking down the street. You look just like a bitch in heat. Harlot, and there's a pause.
Yeah.
Here we go. Harlot, filthy Harlot, you're the dirtiest thing I've known. When you're humping, I can hear you moan. Harlot, filthy, filthy, filthy Harlot.
I love that.
I
love that.
Got the condensed.
Harlot.
You got a good crust.
Acapella, too.
Yeah, I don't know where that
That's a
came
song.
from.
Was Harlot based on anyone in particular?
Yes, it was, but it was several Harlots.
Okay.
And I live in an old hotel on Western Avenue 10 years ago, or 12 years ago. And this is how it started. I see the dirty girls walking down the street from my fourth-story room, and I'd bend my head out, and I'd see them, and I go, Harlot, and I'd duck my head back in.
And what would they do?
they'd look up and I'd keep my head out of sight. And then I'd stick my head out again, and I'd say, filthy harlot, and then I'd hide again. That's what started the whole idea.
I love it. And maybe this Mr. Aniston, Branston Aniston, caught wise to that. I mean, maybe he was like one of their Johns and saw you kind of hassling them and thought it was funny.
He could have been, yeah. He probably got hired girls, too. Of course, now you got me thinking he hired guys.
Well, hey, listen, you always got to go there in your mind. Because often it's true nowadays, yeah. Are we too liberal nowadays, Ted? I mean, not to get political, but has the world gone to hell in a handbasket?
It feels like it, doesn't it? Yeah. Things are tighter than ever, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but the women are as loose as can be, am I right?
They're loose, yeah.
Harlot.
That's why I stopped even bothering. It's so loose, you know.
When's the last time you got laid, Ted?
Oh, it goes back now, let's see. 6 months back, but she was so loose that I was not working right, you know.
Right. So you were limp and she was loose, and it was like pulling taffy.
Yeah, we were wasting each other's time, you know, so I just unmounted her, and I said, I'm sorry, I don't know what went wrong, I left, you know.
Is that the most embarrassing thing for a man? Because I think it's up there, Ted, don't you?
It is, yeah.
I've
you
had
feel like,
that.
well, I'm over the hill now, it's all over with, you know.
Do you ever use Viagra?
I'm thinking of it, yeah. Especially on those loose ones, you got to, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And was she loose and dry?
Let me think. Loose, so loose I couldn't tell if she was dry or wet.
That's loose.
Harlot, a real harlot.
She was a harlot, yeah.
I'm riffing
You got
with
it
Ted
down.
Pillman.
You're going to sub for me.
I'm riffing with Ted Pillman. I love it. I would love to hear Carload of Farts, Ted.
Well, I got it right here. Do you want about half of it?
Oh, as much as you want. It's a classic. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ted Pillman, Carload of Farts, his big number.
Thank you. I got a carload of farts, and I'm going to pass them to you. I got a carload of farts, and I don't mean a few. It's rat-a-tat-tat in the morning, and it's rat-a-tat-tat at night. Sometimes they're silent and deadly, and the crowds disperse way out of sight.
Yeah.
There you go. That's half of it. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, I'm glad you liked it.
Ted, I'm telling you, I've seen Paul McCartney live.
Twice.
I've seen Brian Wilson's of the Beach Boys live, and really, truly, nothing compares with hearing Carload of Farts. I mean, you shaped my childhood. We used to get on the internet 3 a.m., crack a couple of beers, and we'd watch you do one of your famous skits, CD Hotel. Big fan of CD Hotel 1, 2, and 3. They only get better. Yeah,
Is there a 4?
Is there a 4 in the works, or was there a 4 ever made of the CD Hotel series?
Probably this one I'm in now will become 4, yeah.
I would love that.
It's getting seedier by the minute. Yeah.
I would love that. Can you describe your surroundings in the CD Motel?
It's about the size of a closet. Yeah, it's closet-sized. And it's got carpeting that's all mildewed, plus things that crawl on the walls. You know, we got lots of those.
I've seen some of those in your video, actually.
I'm battling them all the time with a fly swatter.
Yeah.
And of course, at the bed, there were the bed bugs, too.
Right. Rampant in New York and L.A., the bed bugs, terrible epidemic, really.
And I solved that problem by putting plastic sheets all over my bed, and they don't like plastic.
Right. And
So
also, if you urinate or take a dump in the night, really, there's no issue.
I know it. I know it.
I'm preaching to the choir, right, Ted?
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
I love Ted's laugh. It's amazing.
I'll let you do impressions of me, and you can take it on the road.
Ted, I do a little bit of Mr. Ted Pillman.
Yeah,
I've
you sound like me right now.
Over the years.
Yeah,
I've known a couple
I'll send you out on the road, and I'll stay home.
I'd be happy to do it. Ted has a better career than I do, is the thing. He absolutely does. What would you say to a young guy who wants to get into the dump and fart song business?
Well, just sit on the toilet as long as you can and
Yeah.
just let your imagination take over. That works. Take a pen and paper in there. And as you're functioning, you'll think of different lyrics that fit,
Did you
And
refer
look
to
out-
shitting as punching?
Huh?
Did you refer to shitting as punching?
No, I said, what did I say? Functioning, I think I said.
Punch?
Like when you're functioning on the toilet.
Okay, I gotcha. I like punching a bit better. Before we get too far off topic, though, explain to me what the inspiration behind your most famous song, Carload of Farts, really was.
Well, my own farts was it. I'd be sitting there, and I had so many, I thought, I'm kind of proud of how many I had.
Right.
So
And
I
now,
thought
I've
I've
never,
got a carload of them.
I've never heard anyone use a carload as a measurement. Really?
Well, I've heard it somewhere, and I thought, I have a carload of farts. So I started sitting on the toilet and writing as I was going.
Is it a 4-door, a hatchback, a Corvette full of farts? I mean, what are we talking about here?
Well, carload, like it would be the size of a carload, enough to fill up a car. That's what it amounts to, yeah.
A clown car of farts, I'd imagine.
Yeah, a town car would be better.
Stretch limo of
SUV,
farts.
yeah. One of those great big mini vans or something like that. I'd fill it right up, yeah.
I don't know if you have it handy, if you can do it, but another song I love from you is Oily Discharge.
Oh, yeah, I love that too. I didn't quite brush up on it. I'll do just a touch of it
Yeah,
for you.
sure.
since you're
Go
so
ahead,
nice.
please.
Oily discharge, oily discharge. It's right between taking a crap and taking a shit. Something like that. That's what it is.
It's true. Just before you... he's so right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
a good... Yeah.
Every time I have a heavy movement, I will have a discharge later. I
Me
hate
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
I really do hate it. So I thought I'd put it to music.
Yeah, what is that oily discharge? I mean, you're...
I looked it up on Google, and they say it's called anal orange oily discharge.
Anal orange, like Agent Orange.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it does the
Anal
same thing to
orange.
children.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anal
have you ever
orange
seen any
oily
anal
discharge.
orange babies?
Yeah.
Yeah, they make the Agent Orange babies look, attractive, handsome.
It's something like that. And
Oily.
the oily
You know,
discharge, I like that one too.
I love that one. That's I think a Ted Pillman deep track.
Yeah, sure.
And you know,
That's really reaching out.
yeah, it's really reaching up in there, isn't
Really,
it?
really stretching and reaching in there. Yeah, you're right.
You know, but the greatest songwriters. You know, I think of Ted Pillman. I think of Bob Dylan. You know, sort of growing up on the road and being a folk hero, as I think Ted is. And you know, Bob Dylan sang about things that were on the pulse of a nation. And by God damn it, if oily discharge in between a fart and a shit isn't something we
Yeah.
all have to deal with every day, I don't know what is.
That's one of the things I deal with. Yeah, I hate it. There's nothing you can do with it.
Nothing. You
Yeah.
can't sell it.
Yeah. I tried duct tape and everything,
That's a song too. Duct tape,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
On the oily discharge vein, if there's any way we could hear, my audience could hear, as I was taking a dump.
You know, I have it sitting right here.
Oh,
And,
a dump or the song?
oh, wait, I got the one. See, where did I put as I was taking it up? Just to remind myself.
Yeah,
I just want to look at all the sheets.
And
of it.
because
I kept the sheets up just in case I had any discharge of any kind.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's as I was taking it down. It was down on
thank
the
you,
floor
Ted.
here.
Thank you, Ted.
Okay, I'll go right into it. I
Yeah.
might shorten it a little for
That's
your
okay.
time's sake.
Whatever you feel.
As I was taking a dump, I pictured your face. It was a big, heavy clump. You were all dressed in lace. You can't surmise my road apple size. It's overflowing the pot. My big methane cloud made me so proud. I'm a big shot. I'm really hot. That's the cut down version.
Oh, wow.
Thank you very much.
As he
I
was
was
taking, whose face were you picturing when you took that dump? We all want to know.
That's about the time I broke it up with Malik.
Okay, so it was
I was
Malik.
picturing her face as I was taking it up. Yeah.
I'm surprised you even divulged that. I thought you might keep it secret like Carly Simon did with You're So Vain.
Oh, but I thought I'd bring it out. It's time to, let everything come out.
No, you're a good man. He cares about his fans. You do care about your fans, don't you, Ted?
Oh, yeah, of course, do. Sure, always have. Yeah.
Well, listen, this is why I wanted you to come on the air. I
love
did it on a
being
whim.
here,
You've been oh so gracious.
Thank you.
You've been a fantastic interview. Before I let you go, I'm wondering if there's any way possible, Ted. Two of my co-hosts are songwriters and singers themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, because I have the utmost respect for your musical acumen, if you could maybe give a quick review or your thoughts on some of their music. I'll play it for you quickly.
Oh, sure, I'll listen to it.
Okay. This first one is by my co-host, Mr. Slacko here. Say hi, Slacko, to Ted Pillman.
Hello, Mr. Pillman.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure's all mine.
And he got a guitar one night, and he wrote this really sappy song. It almost sounds like one of your gay character songs.
Okay, that's all right.
And his father, who he's estranged from, always calls him the F-word faggot every time he hears this song.
Oh, that's too bad.
Well, he's a man from Romania himself, I believe, isn't he?
Yeah, Eastern Europe.
Eastern Europe. So he's a harsh man. Anyway, maybe you'll be a bit gentler, but do be blunt, do be honest. Here is Nick's song. You ready for it, Ted?
Sure. Is it live?
No, it's pre-recorded, unfortunately.
Okay.
But
Let me hear it.
Let me
Sure.
make sure you can hear this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You hear that, Ted?
I don't hear it yet. There it is.
Who am I to you? Just someone that you knew, or someone you held on to. And who are you to me? Just a future memory, or someone I sang songs to.
Is it too pretty, Ted, as a song?
It's pretty. Yeah, I like it. It was a little muffly over the phone, but
Right.
it's pretty.
But you get the gist of it.
Yeah, I liked it.
And I don't know. I mean, if you would be down for it, Ted, or if Slacko would be at all willing to share. But if you ever wanted to take this tune and put your own dump fart inspired lyrics to it,
I just might do
I could rewrite it. Sure.
yeah, because it needs a bit of work, quite frankly, Ted. I think we can both agree. And
I
this
didn't mind it.
Yeah, well, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
We actually all love it on the show. We're big fans of Slacko's music. That's his one and only song. Do you have any advice for him?
Just keep it up. Are you still young enough to continue on?
Yeah, I'm fairly young, sure.
How old are you,
Yeah.
Slacko?
I'm 31 years old.
You see, he's a young buck.
He's got at least 3 more years ahead of him. Yeah, that's good.
And at least 3 decades of drinking, am I right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep it up. That's how all us greats get going, by keeping
You
it
see?
up.
Yeah,
That's how all the greats get going.
Well,
Ted Pillman
Yeah.
told you that, and you can take that to the bank, because he's a legend in my world.
absolutely.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah.
I mean it. I'm not saying this over the air. I love you. I think you're
Well, I
fantastic.
appreciate your support for me. It feels good.
Absolutely. And if I could play you maybe 1 or 2 quick ones here. This is by another artist on our show, Dylan. Say hi to. This is your other biggest
Big
fan.
Huge fan.
That's
Oh, well,
Dylan.
thank you.
Saying
I
hi.
feel
to
even
you.
bad playing this after we just heard.
Well, here's
some of
the
those.
deal. Dylan does more experimental music. I think if
All
Frank
right.
Zappa was alive, he wouldn't sign Dylan. He would shoot him. He'd be that disgusted. But I'm going to
Wow.
play you a song called, I believe it's Slutty Girls, and do you know the full title, Dylan?
I don't know that one.
Well, it's Slutty Girls. Let's go with that.
That sounds like one of mine.
It
yeah.
sounds similar
Yeah.
to you.
You're an inspiration.
Was it
obviously.
inspired by
Oh, of
Ted
course.
Pillman?
Yeah.
In part, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me know what you think of this.
Thank you.
Again, very avant-garde, okay?
Okay.
Here we go, Ted.
Said I saw you missing the taste of semen. Well, if you keep me away from your diary, I got a shitload of semen that you can suck out. I got a shitload of semen, and I heard how if you can't get the semen that you'll suck the
Did you make any sense of that, Ted?
There's a lot of semen in that song.
Yeah, I mean, is it too much semen in the song?
Maybe just a little too much, but, I wish I had that much these days.
Yeah, I know. Is it? Do you shoot?
You
Do you
dry
shoot
up when you're
blanks
older,
at?
you dry up, yeah.
What do you? I mean, can you still come?
I'm on a medicine called Flomax and Avodart, just to keep the stream thicker and heavier for the stream,
Yeah.
And what they do, there's a thing called reverse ejaculation. That's a side effect.
Okay, and what is that?
When the moment comes, it goes inside. It goes backwards.
Ooh.
There's no pain involved, but that's a strange feeling for nothing to come out.
Yeah, of course. It's almost like you're
Totally
coming inside yourself. I mean, it's almost
That's
like
what
you're
I'm doing. It's
quite
like
literally.
I never thought
You're
of it
quite
that way.
literally fucking yourself, Ted.
That's what it is. I guess
Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
It must be nice
I
though.
got
No
off the
cleanup.
pills, and then I functioned better, and then I went back on them, and I stopped with the semen stopped again.
Right.
Yeah.
You must
Every
have
doctor-
you must have some burps. Am I right, Ted?
Somewhat.
Some burps.
Yes. For sure.
So a bit too much semen, Dylan, and I think as you are obsessed with farts and taking a dump, Dylan too is obsessed with semen and the pussy juice, as he put it. Yeah.
Well, that's good. People will buy it,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Well.
A lot of my crowd will buy that, yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever do signings, or do you ever make any live appearances?
Somehow I've never really made signings. Yeah, I just kind of, I guess I'm a loner type, and I hide out a lot, so.
It's a bit too mainstream, because you're not a Rebecca Black, you're not a Chocolate Rain kind of guy. I mean, you have a following, but it is kind of a cult following. Am I right?
Well, it feels like somebody said it was, and it feels like it, yeah.
Yeah. I think that was me at the beginning of the interview. I said
That's when I first heard it, yeah.
Ted, I thank you so much. It's truly, it's been a pleasure to speak with you. Is there anything you'd like to plug?
Will you contact me on how I can hear the show on this one?
Absolutely. I'll send you a link personally.
Okay.
And is there anything you'd like to plug, Mr. Pillman, before you head off into the wild yonder?
Well, you guys can watch Ted Pillman, Disco King, I Love the Nightlife.
It's fantastic. I do highly recommend it. That, of course, is on your channel.
Yeah, it's on top of the channel, the brand new one, and Malik is sitting there looking dead.
Okay.
And,
well, best of luck to you and Malik.
Thank you, buddy.
And how do we find your channel? What's the actual handle?
It's still called Branston A, but if you type in my name, it all comes up too.
Okay,
and you click on the little blue ID thing, it'll say Branston A. That'll bring you right in.
Perfect. Do you have an agent, Ted?
And then you'll see me saying I took over the whole account,
Do you have any representation? Do you have an agent?
No, I actually don't. I don't think they'd want to handle this type of material, but
right.
I kind of feel like I'm my own agent,
Yeah, and who needs some, guy taking 15% off of you if you're doing okay?
Yeah, I don't need that. Branston was trying to be a little like an agent.
Right.
I broke out on my own, yeah.
Is he still alive? Do you see him at all?
I don't know. I did see him coming out of a gay bar, so you got me thinking about him.
You didn't think anything before that? When you saw him coming out of a gay bar, it was me that had to turn you on to that?
No, since you've told me, I remember one time he came stumbling out of a gay bar.
Right,
yeah.
and he pretended like he didn't know how he got there, right?
Yeah, in fact, he didn't even notice me. He was so swacked,
Exactly. I don't even know what that means, but I'm sure it involves reverse ejaculation.
He was looped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, snockered is another word. Snockered.
I'm learning a whole new vernacular through you, Ted.
Yeah, it comes from age,
I love it. I love your classic songs. I love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And the best of luck to you. I can't wait to watch everything you put out in the future.
Oh, you're so kind, and I appreciate it very much.
Okay, you have a great night, Ted.
Thanks for coming on, Ted.
Great talking to you, Ted.
We love you.
Thank you. You guys made my night. Really.
You made ours.
You made ours.
Absolutely.
See you, my friend.
I love you. I love your youth. You make me feel 75 instead of 77.
Yeah, you have very young fans. You have universal appeal.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna make you into a silver fox sex symbol.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Okay, all right,
Thank
man.
you, buddy. Bye-bye.
Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow. I got a carload of farts.